Greetings, community. It's Kevin of NCBD Comics, and I'm here to bring you another edition of Kevin's most anticipated reads tomorrow for New Comic Book Day, 2/7/2024. This list is tiny. I am just saying, it's probably going to take me more time to go through the chat list than it will take to go through this comic list. The beauty is I'm not here to waste your time with anything but pure concentrate killer reads, in my opinion. These are the ones that I just been able to filter out, and these are just literally my most anticipated. I am reading probably around 9 books that are coming out this Wednesday. However, the list is considerably smaller than that. Before I get into it, I want to acknowledge the chat that is presently here. Mr. Hooray himself, Las Cruces. Dude, greatly appreciate you. Seriously. And yo, Sans, how you be, bro? I hope all is well with you, and I appreciate you being here. Seriously. And without further ado, to all of you that catch me on the rewind, greatly appreciate you, seriously. But let's get into this list, all right? Starting off over on the Marvel side, we're going to talk about Doctor Strange issue number 12. Issue number 11 was rather just kind of a filler issue, and I expect issue number 12 is probably not going to be too much more than a launching pad for a new arc coming up. I've been digging Doctor Strange. This has been a very consistent read for me. This, Miles Morales, Venom has been rather consistent. Not to get into, a bunch of lists of a bunch of reads that I'm in, because it's a small list. But I want to get into the fact that Doctor Strange, if you're a Strange fan, is really good. McKay's killing it. There's a few writers out there as they go to McKay. They're just doing really well. And I've been enjoying the fact that they've been consistent in their writing. So getting back, Doctor Strange, issue number 12 out of Marvel, is one of my most anticipated reads. But moving out from over there, we're going to talk over at the Venom side. Venom's last issue, 29, that I just read 2 days ago, is really heating up. I see what they're doing, and I see how it's all culminating back to where we are going to see Eddie coming back in soon. But we also can see where this is leading. And my point is, doing this whole whirly wee thing, is Carnage, Venom, crossover, inevitable. You see what's happening. You see how it's turning out. And now that we've got this development with Carnage and how he's gotten stronger, essentially we know that Eddie's on this journey himself to also be more godlike. This is going to be a clash of hardcore titans when it comes to this summer, and I'm looking forward to it almost like no other. So moving out from the Venom issue number 30, which is coming out tomorrow, New Comic Book Day, 2/7/2024, we're going to go over to Dynamite Comics and talk about one issue only. Thundercats. That's right, Thundercats. Well, never really read it as a comic book, but watched it as a cartoon and loved it. It was really cool. Most of us near or at my age either grew up or raised little ones growing up watching this thing. It's freaking awesome. This was a rather unique story, and I'm looking forward to how it's going to be retold in the comic. It's really high on my most anticipated reading. It almost won out. However, that actually has to give away to over at the Boom Studio side. Well, that's it. It is time for the Blue Light Special. This week's Blue Light Special is Once Upon a Time at the End of the World, issue number 12 of 15. I was coming to the realization that this thing has been on my most anticipated read every month, and I think it's hit the Blue Light Special. This is, I believe, the third time. I know it's the second. My point being, and I keep saying the same reiteration, which I'm going to give you as a breakdown now. I recommend this read. Seriously. Yes, it's a stereotypical trope starting of a telling of a post-apocalyptic world. Let's throw that aspect to the side. The setting is rather important but it's almost rather secondary because this is really a love story like no other. There's fighting and fighting. There's ultimately a telling of how civilization, how we view ourselves, how we view civilization, how the undoing of civilization is all pointing fingers to a bunch of metaphors and symbolic aspects in the telling of the story that is really rather beautiful and genius. I thoroughly enjoy this book, not only because it is a great story, but how it hits in the heart and how it's told in the art. It's really done really well. It's not cheated on in any way. The panels are really poignant, and it really just tugs at so many strings that I know when issue number 15 comes around, I am not going to be the most happiest of individual because it's going to be so bitter that I doubt that the sweetness of the ending is really going to do me satisfaction, no matter how well it's written. But aside from that, which I'm not going to focus on, I'm going to focus on the idea of what this really is. It's a beautiful read that I believe everyone needs in their life. If you're really a fan of just great storytelling and, of course, the art, I highly recommend Once Upon a Time at the End of the World. It's a read that I believe that everyone who reads this will individually get out of it something that they are able to attach themselves to the story as they read it. It's truly a very unique story that I believe means something unique to the individual reading it. And that's it for me. Entropy. I appreciate everyone for being here, and I appreciate you catching me on the rewind. You guys stay well, and until next time.